Yokai. Monsters. Ghosts. Phantasms. Mythical creatures. Spirits of Japan. One evening, while passing through the streets of Kyoto, a traveler was stopped in his tracks by a suspicious man dressed in a kimono. The man only asked him for some spare time. The traveler was cautious as the man's hat obscured his face. As he got closer, the traveler recoiled in horror as the mysterious man took off his hat to reveal his face was devoid of any features. The terrifying entity then speedily disrobed down to its naked body. It turned around and dropped to all fours and thrust its rear to face the horrified man. In place of its anus was a single, large, glowing eye, the very sight of which caused the traveler to faint. The creature, undoubtedly amused, simply redisguised itself and disappeared into the night. The traveler remained unconscious for a little while longer, the latest victim of the shocking Shirime. Shirime is an unusual yokai of uncertain origin. Its first appearance in a publication was most likely in the picture scroll Buson Yokai Emaki, a collection of depictions of yokai penned by poet and painter Yosabuson between 1754 and 1757. The work features 8 illustrations of lesser yokai, some with detailed descriptions of their character, and some with simply their name accompanying them. In the picture scroll, Shirime is seen surprising a wandering samurai by revealing its eye in place of its butthole. Buson's original drawing depicts the creature as possessing a seemingly average-sized eye in its anus, while later depictions tend to dramatically enlarge the eye. Interestingly, it is titled in the scroll as Nupori Bozu, an alternate name for Nopera Bo, another more well-known yokai which scared people by revealing that its head had no face. It is conceivable that Buson was the one to invent the concept of a type of Nopera Bo with an eye in its rear, in order to add a second layer of shock appeal and crudeness to the creature. This falls in line with the general mood of lightheartedness and foolishness of the picture scroll. Whereas past yokai were viewed as ominous monsters, preying on and harming civilians, Buson and some of his contemporaries of the Edo period decided to envision yokai as generally harmless, humorous, and even friendly creatures. Noted manga artist and yokai specialist Shigeru Mizuki is attributed to being the first to refer to the yokai as Shirime. While its name directly translates as butt eye, it can also mean in Japanese to glance back or to carry out an action regardless of what others may think. Perhaps it was a pun meant to evoke these several meanings, evocative of the punsome wordplay that noted yokai artist Toriyama Sekien had used to name some of the monsters. As the translation may suggest, Shirime does as it wishes, without regard of others, flashing its rear at unsuspecting people. It seeks nothing more than to shock its spectators, receiving a thrill from their fear. Despite its entire mythos being attributed to a single picture and description, it has become a widely recognized yokai, both in Japan and overseas. Its absurd physical characteristics only help to intrigue and bewilder its observers. Writer and translator Zach Davison, known for translating the works of Shigeru Mizuki, wrote thusly of the appeal and the Japan-specific uniqueness of the faceless, eye-butted ghoul. You can see how themes are shared and interpreted across cultures. Magical wife stories, for example, or don't look in the box stories. But then, there are things that are uniquely Japanese and just weird, like the Shirime.